special BB Can 6 show with Jesse. We have so much to talk about. We're going to be taking your guys' questions. Of course, just a few things to let you guys know first. If you want to see any of our shows back, listen to our phone interview with Jesse, see any of our shows with past house guests, they're all over at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. Of course, we're doing this right now on YouNow. Become a fan over on YouNow so you get alerted when we go live. You can ask your questions in the chat room. Of course, if you want to help support our shows, help get us to Canada for the finale this year, consider becoming a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only shows, like the after show we're having with Jesse after this show, prize giveaways, special stuff just for you patrons. You can always do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. And of course, #1 fan on this show is getting Jesse's autograph at the end of the season. You guys know the deal. But without further ado, let's bring on the guy. And I just realized something. We're going to yell at him together right now. It's Jesse without glasses.
All right. I forgot about that.
We discussed the glasses, Jesse.
Hey, they've got to be close here. They've got to be close. Just hold on. I can do glasses, guys. Just a sec.
There, thank you. Don't get me in trouble, Jesse.
Oh no, okay, we promised glasses, we got it.
We did promise glasses. Jesse, how are you doing?
You know what, I'm doing as good as I can be. This game is super exciting to follow from home, so I'm not actually too worried about it right now.
You're not too worried about it. Now, Jesse, would you have called yourself before the season a super fan? Were you more of a casual watcher? How much did you love BB Can before the season started?
I've seen all the seasons of BB Can. I'm not sure what classifies me as a super fan, but I definitely followed it. Didn't quite help me out here this time, though.
No, well, you know, I think there is always different levels to Big Brother. I think just because you go out early does not mean you don't make an impression on the game, and doesn't mean that we won't see you play again. I think the most memorable characters, I think, in BB Can are people that we have seen go out early their first go round.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd be open to it for sure.
Well, I think it'll happen, Jesse. I think it will happen. Would you ever want to play like in a duo situation where you have to play like chained to somebody else?
I'd play however they got me to play. If I could come back, that'd be enough for me.
Interesting. All right. Well, look, everyone, like we said, you guys can start leaving your questions for Jesse right now in the chat room. This show is more about your fans, Jesse. It's for your fans to ask their questions to you, more so than me just being like, this happened, that happened, and the other thing happened. So I'm going to try and fire as many fan questions as I can at you on this show. So leave them in the chat room, everybody. You can tweet me them with hashtag YRRLive. Of course, spread the word. Let everyone know that we are live with Jesse right now, and become a fan if you're trying to figure out how to leave those questions in the chat room. So, Tony M4 BB Attic in the chat room, Jesse, wants to know, have you watched any of the episodes back yet?
Yeah, I binged the entire season and I'm fully caught up. I'm part of the conversation now, so I need to know what's going on.
Did anything like floor you? Was there anything that when you watched it back you were like, I can't believe that happened, or she lied to me, or he did what floored you watching them back?
The only thing that really caught me off guard was the amount of DR time that Hamza got the first couple episodes. Because he was really under the radar in the house, and yet he's talking shit in the DR, and it got the edit for it. So that was surprising.
Interesting. I'm going to take a question over from Twitter, and it is from Betancourt wants to know, do you regret, or I like to change these questions for people, Jesse. Sometimes I feel they're too mean to you guys. No.
Hey, you know what? That's okay.
Do you regret not being more open or social towards more people in the house? Do you feel you lacked anything off from a social aspect? So do you feel that you were not as social as you could have been in the game?
No, I felt like I was really social. It was just more obvious that I liked people like Dela, Paris. I could have had a better relationship with Johnny, for example, but, you know, that just didn't happen right off the get-go. So maybe, I'm not sure on that.
So you don't feel like you had a good relationship with Johnny? Because I would think he would think you guys had an okay relationship. I mean, granted, you can also say he was kind of the catalyst for you kind of going too. But, I mean, do you think you guys didn't have a good relationship?
No, I thought we had a good personal relationship. I mean, me and him did that makeup on Maddie the one day. So I thought it was there, but little did I know he was kind of working behind my back. So that tells me that maybe we didn't have the best relationship, or at least the best game relationship.
Destinies wants to know, are you watching the feeds as well, or just the show?
I'm definitely catching as much of the feeds that I can. Being, recently evicted, it's just killing me what these people are up to every day. So I'm definitely on the feeds.
You're definitely on the feeds. All right. That's interesting. And is there chat rooms? Because we can't see the feeds here in the States. Do you guys have chat rooms for when you watch the feeds in Canada? Yeah, you do, right? You have like the message board.
There's comments on the side of the global feeds. Yeah.
Do you like to remain anonymous, or do you want people to know you're in there watching with them?
I haven't commented yet. I've just been lurking, so
okay, I like it.
Maybe I'll get in on it. I'm not sure.
Okay. Danny Beast wants to know, Jesse, how do you feel about Kayla now that she has gone against Paris?
You know what? I think that Kayla has always been a secret savage, but I hadn't come to that conclusion yet in the house, right? So I think she's definitely out for herself, and it's going to be interesting to see where her gameplay takes her. So I'm not mad she's gone against Paris, but it's just another aspect to the game, so we'll see.
B Hoot in the chat room wants to know, what was it really like living with Veronica? She seems a little bit crazy.
I'm just trying to get out of the glare of the glasses.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's off.
Great point. Jesse, I am being told by production in my ear you can ditch the glasses. It's very distracting, apparently.
Okay, and I think we're going to have to take them off. Okay.
Oh, no. Okay.
Now there's just my red face. So how was it like being with Veronica in the house?
Right.
Me and V actually had a great relationship. She likes to rave. I've been to some festivals, and she's a really out there person. So it was exciting having her, but annoying at times when she wanted to call said house meetings.
And she loved to call a house meeting, and you never know kind of where she was firing off when she held those house meetings.
Right, exactly.
If there was anyone that you wish, I saw a few people ask in the chat room, if there was anyone that you would have liked to have had a better relationship with the house, and not to say that you didn't have a good relationship, but maybe like a better strategic or game relationship in the house, is there anyone that you wish you would have had that with?
I think it's got to be Johnny again for my answer, just because he had a helping hand in the eviction.
Mm-hmm.
And we did try a couple times, but just weren't really aligning on who we thought should leave the game. So that didn't happen, but would probably have benefited me if it had.
Interesting. All right, I'm gonna take a shady question. I did not even know this. B Breadwood wants to know, Jesse, has anyone told you about that one time Will leaned in to kiss Paris? I'm guessing outside by the hot tub.
Yeah, I didn't know about it in the house, but it doesn't surprise me. I learned about it later. I know, he was vibing on Paris pretty hard, but I didn't learn that in the house.
How do you feel about Paris now, post-season? Is she someone that you are going to consider to be a friend outside the house, that you want to be more than just a friend outside of the house?
Yeah, she'd be a friend outside the house, and can't really comment anything further. I mean, she might be stuck in the game for a while. Things change. Who knows?
All right, I want to see it. I actually like a Jesse and Paris relation. My favorite part, I don't know, can you guys flash back on Canada feeds? I would just love you to go back and watch Paris campaigning for you. When you were on the block, Paris spent so much time being like, I'm not campaigning for Jesse, but I just want to let you know these are all the reasons why Jesse should stay in the house. We're going to start with reason number 1. We're going to go through reason 54, but none of this is me campaigning for Jesse. Ready? Sit down. Go. And she would do that to everybody for you.
No, she was awesome. She was a great advocate. Unfortunately, we couldn't pull it off and go further, but yeah, she tried really hard.
She does. I think she's hysterical. I like her. The Royal Audrey says, how did you guys come up with the real deal handshake or hand sign?
You know what? I've been getting a lot of hate on that little hand signal there, but
you are?
Real deal. What can you do? Dealing cards. I don't know, right? Like, I mean, what is there to do? So it was dealing cards.
Why are people hating on your dealing cards handshake?
I don't know. I just don't know if they don't like the name or the handshake, but we needed some sort of signal, right? But it only lasted a week.
I think it was good. I think there's no problem. Now, Lisa D. Oh, God. Lisa D. Ginger Snaps in the chat room has a really important question.
Okay, bring it.
It's a game that we like to play here, and I can't believe that I'm going to ask you this now. Pants or no pants?
Right now?
Right now. You don't have to show us.
It's pants. I'll kick up a leg. I actually do have pants on.
There you go. No, Jesse, it's a game I play all the time. I'm only dressed right here. There's just boxers happening below.
I've done it before, so that's a totally valid question.
It is. Why do we need to be? No one's seeing down there. We can. What? It's a mystery for all anyone cares. Jacob M in the chat room wants to know, Jesse, have you seen the videos for Kristen or Mikey yet? If so, which of them do you think would have been a better house guest? So do you think, let's start with, did you see Kirsten or Mikey's videos yet?
Yeah, so I saw both of their intros. I actually chatted with both of them briefly since I've been out. So that was super exciting to me, you know, just seeing that there were two other potential house guests. Who would I have preferred more? I like Mikey over Marin.
Okay.
I think I like V over Kirsten, but I'm just I don't know
right
yet. So that's a tough one. I think they both do amazing things. They're both pretty damn bold.
I will say, if you need help making up your mind, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Kirsten will be here to talk game and see what we think of the double eviction and everything that will happen later tonight. So if you guys come back here tomorrow night to see what Kirsten has to say about everything. Melissa L. also has a very important question. Who was the hardest person to live with in the house?
Yeah, that's totally fair. You know, I think Andrew.
Really?
He just, in general, I like him as a guy, but just in general, rubbed people the wrong way.
Okay.
And didn't really connect with a lot of people, so he came off a little too aggressive and game heavy, I think.
Okay.
I know people are probably thinking Ryan, but I like that he came up with some stupid games to keep us entertained.
Oh, no, I think we were all thinking Veronica.
Yeah, or her. I mean,
I think we were all thinking
runners.
Yeah. Were you throwing comps, or had you not found a comp that suited your abilities yet from the chat room?
Oh, that's low-key savage, but
you encouraged her. That was Destiny's. You encouraged her on Twitter.
No, I love it. So the HOHs I threw for sure, especially the crate HOH where Hamza ends up winning it, because I was paired up with Ali, and Ali and Liv were the house targets, right? So couldn't let Ali take that HOH. Mm-hmm. The right in the kisser one where we threw drinks, I threw that one too. But I legitimately tried in the vetoes.
Okay. Do you regret, I think I kind of asked you this on the phone call, but we didn't have like a lot of time. So do you regret going for the key? Do we know how big the key was? Because you were kind of ripping that thing apart. We didn't ever see a key on our end either. Is what
right. I mean, I was told it was a smaller key, and the garden looked a lot more shallow from the outside. So I thought, you know what, whatever, let's blast through this, probably get the key. If it's a 1, 2, 3 hit on the ice blocks, I have a good chance making that up. And it just didn't happen. So it was pretty damn small, I think.
That was like a spatula that you guys were railing away at that ice. I'm surprised that didn't break.
Yeah, me too. I guess the handle was pretty sturdy, but it was tough getting through those blocks.
Especially since all the doors are broken in the house. That's what I learned earlier today from the feeds. Every door handle is broken in that house.
Yeah, it's people are ripping them off. I don't know how that worked, but it was always a broken door.
It does seem like there was always a broken door. Past Champions wants to know, what was the thought process for the house voting out Andrew over Hamza? Derek and Kayla would have won HOH in the boxes, I guess, if Hamza was the one that was voted out.
Right, so they were very close behind V and Ham, so they would have taken it, but I mean, that's pretty hypothetical.
Right.
For us in the house, we knew that Hamza was more unpredictable, but we didn't see his, dark side. So it was really played up on the public episodes that, this guy wants to be the villain and make big moves. But in the house, he seemed like a loner and was really quiet into himself. So we thought Andrew rubbed people the wrong way more than Hamza at that point. So everyone wanted Andrew out.
Right. Do you think that if Derek had told you sooner that you were going to be nominated, that you would have been able to talk your way out of being put on the block?
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible, but nobody knew more than 2 minutes in advance that I was going up, so that was just a zero chance situation. But if someone or if I had known earlier, there could have been a good chance.
I wouldn't say 2 minutes. Some people might have known a little bit earlier than
Yeah, I think there's a couple people in the house that knew a little earlier, but it didn't get back to me until then.
I mean, Derek and Kayla are still obviously in the house, talking you up, rooting for you. Are you still, like, fans of them, fans of their game right at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, Derek was the chillest, most realest dude in the game, so, I mean, it'd be great if he took it home. I doubt it's going to happen, but Kayla's super smart. She's willing to make big plays, and she has a real legitimate chance about making it far.
I got a few questions. I saw people had a few questions about Hamza. I'm going to fire these off at you right now. Do you think that campaigning to Hamza so much is what impacted you leaving because he did not have a vote?
No, absolutely not. Hamza had influence over people in the game, and if Hamza wanted something to be done, he had 2 or 3 votes with him, right? So he had Marin for sure, Ryan, and then, yes and no to Will. So, I mean, it was really important that I talked to Hamza and try to get in his good side.
Do you think that anyone, so then that being said, do you think that anyone was in Hamza's ear influencing him to nominate you and or not pull you off the block?
The nominations, I'm not sure. I think it's possible that could have been straight Hamza. For not pulling me off the block, it was definitely Will and Johnny that had a grab of the year.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Eric. I mean, I'm sure the chat room will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm
not sure.
Believe Erica was a little bit too in the decision for you being the renom. Okay, let me take one from, oh my god, there's so many. Melissa L wants to know, now that you've watched some of the game back, who are you most surprised with game-wise? Is there anyone whose game that you were like, wow, you were gaming so much harder than I thought you were gaming, or wow, you really were doing nothing?
I think a couple surprising ones were Kayla and Johnny, even though he's not getting some of the edit time. And, I think Allie is smarter than we give her credit for, too.
What surprised you about Kayla? Just that she's playing a better, like a stronger, harder game than you originally realized?
Yeah, I think that her willingness to throw Derek and other people under the bus was surprising to me. I thought she had a little more loyalty. So I think she's really good at... excuse my French, coming off fake to people, and she plays that really well.
Really? Okay. And I mean, I probably shouldn't comment on that, so I'm gonna go.
Let's hear some comments.
We can take the comments from the chat room on it.
Oh, okay.
Forward Flow wants to know what are your thoughts on Erica now? Would you say that you're an Erica fan now?
So Erica's probably the person I vibed with the hardest in the house. Like on a personal level, we were bros, if you would say. So I don't think any of that showed on the actual episodes, but we're super tight. I think she's winning a lot of comps, maybe too many for herself at this time. So I think she might have to be a little careful. But no, I love her as a person. I hope she goes really far.
All right. BB Watcher over on Twitter wants to know what happened during the Veronica party with Paris and Olivia. Well, we kind of saw that, didn't we? I think we saw that.
Yeah, so Liv threw a glass of water in Paris's face.
Yes.
And he actually got me with another secondary glass. I don't think that's been really talked about. But, drinks were flowing that night, and Liv had some things to say, I think.
What is it? Now, I love a good eye roll. Like, I love Olivia. I also think she's one of the evil stepsisters from Cinderella, along with Allie. But I love her eye rolls. Does she come off more sincere in person, or is the edit that she's getting kind of true to Olivia? In your opinion?
I think the edit she's getting is pretty harsh, but it's not that far off of her actual personality. I mean, she Liv does live, and she doesn't really care, and she likes making a face, and it's super funny and really gifable.
Yes, it is totally givable. All right, I'm gonna also get that question from Destiny's that you encourage on Twitter, and she says, "How do you feel now knowing Paris is playing everyone in the house? Do you feel like she was truly loyal to you?"
Yeah, that was part of the stick with Paris that me, Derek, Kayla wanted someone that was playing both sides, right? It was nice to have a pair of ears in the white room. It was good that she was close with Will and Maddie, because that kind of gave us an outreach there, right? So definitely, I think she was loyal to us or me for sure, because we had a genuine connection, and that it did benefit. Like, some of the info she brought back was super helpful.
Yeah, I think... well, yeah, it doesn't matter what I think. I want to get more of your questions. Maximus Mom over on Twitter wants to know, Jesse, how do you feel knowing that there was a possible power inside the coffin that you were sleeping on? I'm assuming you've seen that in the first episode that they alluded. They haven't told us for sure, but they alluded to the fact that there was some power in that coffin.
Right. I'm not quite sure what I can comment on this one yet.
Okay.
But to the HG's knowledge, the power, if there is such power, wasn't in play from the time that we were all in the house.
Got you.
That may or may not be a future thing, but at the current time it wasn't an issue. But sleeping on the tomb sucked.
I always like when all of you guys go looking for powers. The tomb would have been one of the first places to be like, hello?
Yeah.
Hello? A lot of people are guessing it could be a ghost of a past house guest, perhaps, that could be put into the game. If there was any past house guest to come and play with you guys, who would you want to see play?
So they're in the game, they're in the running for the money?
Yep.
I would want to see someone like Cass, just because it's just an interesting dynamic with the rest of the girls in the house.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell would happen there.
Interesting. I will let Cass know.
Yeah, sure.
I will let Cass know. I would think I would like to see a Karen.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I would like to see a Karen play again. I think we could get some Karanoia up in there, which would be
for sure. Yeah, wouldn't be that hard.
Which would be great. BB Boston wants to know, do you think it would have helped your game if you had worked with the floaters, specifically Maddie, Ryan, Marin, etc.?
That's a tough one. Marin kind of found his person in Hamza. Maddie was really close with Paris anyways. I think she was kind of on my side. And I forget who the other person, Ryan, was also more, on Hamza's side. So maybe earlier if we started something, but every one of those people listed, came into the game as individuals, didn't really want to make an alliance, and kind of said that from the start. So I'm not sure if that would have worked.
What did you think of Ryan in the house? Because I kind of see that, like, there's two schools of thought. One group of people feel like we need Ryan to be in jury because he's going to take that jury and make sure that the jury votes on game and isn't personal. And then there seems to be another group in the house that are like, he's a floater, it's pointless, let's just get rid of him now. Where did you fall with Ryan?
So Ryan is by far the biggest super fan in the house, right? He's seen 25 seasons of Big Brother, so he would definitely give you a vote based on game. Right now, early in the game, it's important to align with Ryan so that he's a vote for you now and possibly in the future, and get out a bigger target that would maybe be more emotional pre-jury.
Right. I mean, I've had this argument with Amy, one of our show producers and co-hosts with me. She will make the argument that he hasn't watched any feeds, and that is a real hindrance to his game, which is why if what he did in his HOH week wasn't really that smart, and it came from not watching feeds. We kind of feel like is what I'm saying. So.
That's totally fair. I don't think much of the cast has watched the feeds, though, for Plainfield's sake.
And now you know why that's important.
Absolutely. Watching the feeds is huge.
Paul Dimitris over on Twitter wants to know, Jesse, did you expect to have this big of a fan base when you came out of the house?
Yeah, I mean, no, I did not expect it, but the fans and the support has been unreal. I'm glad that people kind of thought that I got robbed and are supporting me here. So yeah, it's really cool to see.
Okay, I'm going to take this question from Behoot, and I'm going to preface it with this. Behoot's been obsessed with you all season. Behoot says, what did you think when you found out that Paris is actually extremely smart, knows a ton about this game, and is just putting on a dumb act?
How do I feel about that?
Yeah.
I would have liked to known that she was in law school. I mean, that doesn't really change my perception of her. I just think it's cool, and it would have been, a conversation topic. And I would have liked to know that she's actually thinking more than she leads on. So I feel good knowing it coming outside the house, but wish you would have shared that for sure.
You got this question a lot too. If Paris and Derek were both on the block, who are you voting for?
Oh, that is just crazy.
They won't see this if it makes you feel better.
You know what? I have to go Derek on this one, obviously, just because he's the only person that has shown, 100% support. So for that reason only, I would have to do the bro move there.
Danny in the chat room wants to know who out of who is left in the house would be your perfect final three.
It would be a Derek, Paris, Erica.
Really? And who would you give the win to, I guess?
I mean, once again, I'd like Derek to win, but whoever was the more deserving of the three at that point can take it, and I would be totally cool with that.
So if like Erica won more in a situation like that, you would give the win to Erica. You wouldn't give it to Derek just because he had your back more when you were in the house. Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a fan of the game. So whoever deserves it more out of those three, those are my most three liked people, can take it home.
Well, good. I do love hearing that. Shinigama, God bless you, wants to know what was your one regret in the game other than campaigning too late.
Right. So, I mean, as live feeders know, we have the HOH comp, noms the next day, veto the next day, right? So everyone says I was campaigning too late, but there was only a day or so where I could get talks in pre-veto competition. And that day, I essentially just cleared it up with Hamza that if he won the veto, he would use it on me. So I could only start campaigning after the veto ceremony, and that's exactly what I did. So I don't regret not saying anything pre-veto competition because I did.
Okay. Can you promise, this is from Pat's champion in the chat room. Jesse, can you promise to take Jairus and real deal pics at the finale party for your fans?
Oh, hells yes. I cannot wait to see everyone again, and there's going to be pictures galore, you guys.
So are you going to go to Niagara Falls? Are you going to go to the, parties in Niagara and that stuff to meet fans and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I hear, and don't quote me on this, it might not be at Niagara this year, so there might be something in the works, but stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Absolutely, I'll be there.
Becca in the chat room, and who also writes our blogs for us, wants to know, what did you think when Paris walked into the bathroom and you and Liv were flirting? Now, I will say, would you say that you and Liv were flirting? And then if you were flirting, what did you think?
You know what? Once again, that's a night that drinks were in the house, and the fact that full scene made it onto the edited show is cringe. I realized that scene was pretty cringe, you guys, but that's what made it on. So what did Paris think? She probably didn't think too highly of the situation, right?
I could be real shady. I want to be a little shady with the chat room. Room, who would you guys rather Jesse be with? Olivia or Paris? I'm just curious, chat room, go. Olivia or Paris? Amy, you tell me what the results of that poll are in a few minutes. Over on Twitter, Nicole wants to know, now that you know the truth behind Marin and Plur's entrance, what do you think about the gate crashers? Do you understand why they had to lie? What do you think about the whole gate crashing twist to the game?
It's surprising that they entered a week late and weren't giving, some sort of power other than a week of safety.
Right.
I think they're at a super huge disadvantage, and it's surprising they don't have some sort of power. So I'm not a fan that they didn't get some sort of power, because it's a really tough spot to be in, right? With no knowledge. I mean, their story was not believable, but it's, again, super tough to come up with something realistic, because we've all seen the show before.
Wow. I'm sorry, I'm not saying wow to that. I'm saying wow to the fact that there's like thousands of people and only 2 said Olivia. So everybody wants you with Paris. So
I can't see the room, but that's fair.
if I'm just saying, if you want to be one of those post-season BB couples that stay together for social media, and don't be, Paris is your choice.
Okay, sounds good. The people have spoken.
The people, it is what they want. Maybe a calendar of sorts.
Oh, I see, yeah.
A little calendar. What was it like to be handcuffed to Paris for 8 hours, only to then, I asked you this too, but only to then have her go talk to Hamza without you? So I know you explained this a little bit on your phone call, but for the people that might have missed it, what was that like, or what was the strategy behind that?
So the strategy there was to just not look like we're working together at all, right? So I'm pretty sure people could see we were flirting a bit in the house, but that they didn't know we're in an alliance. So it just made a lot of sense for us to speak to him separately.
Now, as far as this week goes in the Big Brother house, we, of course, saw that Erica being HOH. Starting there, did that surprise you in Erica HOH, or were you like, obviously, Erica HOH?
No, I mean, she's just apt to win the comps as anybody, and being it's a mental challenge, she had a good shot.
Were you surprised by her original nominees of Maddie and Marin?
No, I wasn't sure of the relationship with her and Maddie. It doesn't surprise me. And if they didn't jive on a game level, then absolutely Maddie's a safe choice for her too. I wasn't surprised.
Who would you have put up? Like, had you survived the eviction and won, who would you have gone after this week?
Hamza and Will.
Really?
Absolutely.
I think that was probably a good choice. And would you have cared which one went out of the two of them, or is there one you would have wanted out more?
I would not have cared. I would have taken whoever.
Okay, good. Well, I think no comment. If
Maybe,
you,
maybe Will, you're thinking, or
oh, you know what I'm thinking. We can't talk about what I'm thinking. Rafe, over in the chat room wants to know, what, in your opinion, is one thing that resulted in you being evicted that maybe you could have combated had you known about?
one thing that resulted was Johnny for sure. I mean, I didn't see the live feeds of him working Hamza at all. Sorry, I'm just really not getting.
No, you're good. I promise you're good, Jesse.
Oh, I'm off the screen. Johnny for sure. I mean, and more time. I mean, if I had more time, I maybe could have convinced the 6 people I was talking to.
Okay, more time. Did you think, do you think that going after Veronica this week, Erica pulling down Maddie, putting the crosshairs on Veronica to possibly be evicted tonight, do you think that that was the smartest move for Erica this week?
I'm seeing kind of the alliances form right now, and if Erica was acting as an independent with no alliances. So, I mean, if she felt threatened by V, then absolutely go for it. But I can't really comment on that.
Right. I think, V did talk a lot on the feeds. She kind of what Erica said. I mean, maybe we'll see that tonight, but on the feeds, she did say to people like, Erica wouldn't use that POV. She's not brave enough or something to use it. So, she definitely poked the bear a little bit. I think V's downfall is she gossiped too much in the house with the wrong people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is kind of what I think her downfall a little bit was. So, I mean, who are you hoping leaves right now in the, I guess, Marin and Veronica? Who would you want to see go out of those two?
Me personally, either is fine because they're kind of looped into the same 4Z deal there. I wouldn't mind seeing Marin go just because he was Hamza's right-hand man, but that's for biased personal reasons.
Right.
MV gave me a vote, so I gotta go Marin.
And who knew how much drama her giving you that vote was going to stir up this week, especially?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not sure if it was the best move on her part, but I really appreciated it.
Here's what scares me about her. This scares me on people in general. People that can lie and not even blink when they're doing it. Just how she's like, house meeting, and I did not cast that vote, and there is nothing and I'm going to cry about you accusing me casting the vote. And I honestly think she believes she didn't cast that vote at this point.
Yeah, I mean, she was dead set against, claiming that she casted it. So, yeah.
I mean, she has to be all in. Clearly, she has to be all in for it. All right, let me remind everybody really quick. Becca, I see you are the #1 fan. We only have about 10 minutes left with Jesse before we head over to the patron show. But the #1 fan is getting Jesse's autograph. And so far, Becca, that's you. And of course, make sure that you guys become a fan so that you're alerted when we're live. I'm sure we'll have Jesse back again this season to talk more Big Brother Canada. And of course, I think Kirsten is in the chat room right now, but we're live with her tomorrow as well. All right, that being said, Jesse, this is probably the #1 question that you got. Would you really have put Derek and Kayla on the block if Hamza could have guaranteed you staying, or just if you stayed and that was the deal that you had to make to stay? Would you have honored that deal?
The answer to that one is absolutely not. I was saying whatever I could at that time to guarantee me safety for the following day. It appealed to Hamza's ego. It was the best pitch I could think of. And him and V ate it up. But unfortunately, Will wasn't on board, and that's why I was evicted. But had I won HOH, absolutely not.
All right. Who was the most emotional person in the house from the chat room? Who's the most emotional?
Really emotional was Maddie.
Really?
Yeah, she essentially was bawling after every HOH room thing, and
Okay.
which isn't a bad thing, but she was
Yeah.
very emotional. V, Paris are close seconds and thirds.
I'm sure she'll say that was strategy, as we saw in the show. She'll say that her crying was strategy. I'm not, like
I mean,
I love Maddie because she's a like a super fan of the show. So I do want her to go far about that, but sometimes I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
yeah, I mean, when people claim mastermind, this and that, it's tough to watch because you just don't know everything that's happening in the house, right?
Exactly. Brianna F wants to know, does Jesse see Kayla taking Derek to the final two if she can, or do you think she'll cut him before?
I think that she would take him to the final two because she would probably win over him.
Okay.
But if she had to cut him to advance, she would do that as well.
Okie dokie. Very serious question from Pina V in the chat room. Probably one of your most important ones you're getting on this show.
Okay.
What did the slop shakes taste like?
You know what? Slop is way worse than we could have ever thought. You know, it's thick, it coats your mouth. It's really hard to eat raw, so that's why me and Derek just started with the slop shakes. Full liquid diet, mix it with some sugar and some cinnamon and just chug it back. They actually weren't bad as shakes.
Okay, and like not even with adding the stuff in it, like the honey, the cinnamon, like that didn't help at all.
It helped, but still the shakes were better.
I always like wanted to try it, and then I realized I don't have to.
Yeah, don't.
I don't. I'm like, why would I do that? I'm good not knowing.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Why do you think Will was so invested in evicting you out of this game? Didn't you guys kind of have a bro thing going from Audrey in the chat room?
Right. So day 2, me, Derek, and Will made a little threesy deal. Made a lot of sense for me, Derek, and him. He didn't have anyone at that point. But why was he so invested on getting me out? Well, obviously his love for Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it turned out that he was way more jealous than we thought, guys.
But and I agree with you. When you were in the house, I do agree with that. But then with you being gone this week, I really thought he would have made more of a move for Paris, and then he kind of really didn't. So is he kind of like one of those people where like, oh, I like the challenge, but there's no challenge anymore, so now I'm over it?
That's totally possible, but I think he just knows he has some time now, so he doesn't have to pounce.
That could be true
There
too.
will be some stuff in the future, so I don't know.
I will ask him whenever he comes on this show. I'm not sure I'll understand his answer.
Yeah, why not?
I'm not even kidding you. I mean, obviously, I'm just gonna assume if he makes it past this point, past tonight, he makes it to jury, and then the next time I will see him will be in the house. I'm seriously considering making some sort of like flashcards where he can just hold up like answers. Because I'm not kidding. I don't think I'm gonna understand him in person.
Yes or no questions only.
Yes or no with like little paddles.
There you go.
For Will. I think it's what's going to happen. Okay, last question I'm going to take from Lindsay, and also very important. She wants to know, Jesse, do you still feel you are woke?
So I'm getting so much fan hate on the woke, but that's only because Erica mentioned it in the room, and I just ran with it, right? So am I still woke? Yes, guys, still woke.
It was great when you were like making that last minute speech and you're like, cut off my hand, I'm woke, here I am, save me, 6 people, let's go, everyone in the room. And I have to say, I wanted you in the house at that point. I was like, yes, I don't know why we keep getting rid of all the big personalities in the house.
I know, right? A couple left, but I appreciate that.
I would like to see more of Jesse playing this game. I hope that we see more of you on social media. So let's start with, where can people follow you? Of course, we have your Twitter right above you, but where do you want people to follow you? Let's start there.
Right now, it's all Twitter. It's Jesse BBCan 6. My Instagram is not popping yet, but I'll let you know when that is.
And when it is, so you don't have one at all?
I had one and it was deactivated, and I haven't got it reactivated yet.
Okay, now might I give you a suggestion, Jesse? Pictures with glasses.
Oh yes, right.
Shirtless pictures with glasses.
We'll see if we.
All of those, Jesse. Do all of those on your Instagram. You're golden. What is the BB Can 6 Jesse Twitter? Because that's even confusing for me. There's like Jesse BB Can 6 and there's BB Can 6 Jesse. Are both of them you? Do you have access to both of them?
I don't have access to the other one. I don't know if it was made for me or what. I reported it. It's still live. Don't follow it.
Okay, very good. I'm going to stop referencing that one too then, because I was very confused with that. Like usually they do all of the Twitter handles consistently, and this year they flip them for some of you guys. I mean, very confusing.
Yeah, the instruction sheet had different handles on it, and I think people's caretakers switched them.
Interesting. All right. Well, look. Either way, what's important is Jesse's Twitter is above him right there. It'll be in the links below this show on the edited video. Jesse, obviously, you have a ton of fans. You have a ton of support. I want to give you full screen to say whatever you want to say to your fans.
Okay, Eric, thanks for having me on this show. Thanks, everyone who tuned in. Your questions were awesome. I'm really active on Twitter. If you guys have anything, just let me know. I appreciate the support because it's so tough being voted out this early, but I'm listening to you guys, so thanks again.
All right, patrons, we will be over in the patron group with you guys in about 2 or 3 minutes. Everybody else, have fun with double evictions tonight. Jesse, I'm sure Jesse will be live tweeting it, right?
Absolutely.
So make sure you guys are following him on Twitter. We'll see you guys over there. Congratulations, Becca. You are the #1 fan.
Woo!
Give Becca a shout out.
Becca, I will be signing some stuff for you. Absolutely. If you're at finale, let me know.
Maybe she will be. You never know. You never know. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, guys.
Yeah.